Hey, everybody. I'm waiting for Blog Talk Radio to start.
Live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. This is a live show with Spirit Medium Laura. That's me. And I will be doing tonight free and fee by donation readings. So if you're on Facebook, you probably need to know that because quite often it's not obvious to those people that see this on Facebook. If you are on Facebook or if you just found me on Blog Talk Radio as well, get on my mailing list. Then you'll be notified of when I'm doing the show. You'll be reminded and you can get into the reading queue earlier on Blog Talk Radio as the queue for pre-screening opens 15 minutes before the show. So the show goes from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and at 6:45 p.m. Eastern Time, the queue opens up and I start screening people for readings. Another way to jump to the top of the queue is by making a donation. I call it the 8 no wait. If you have an urgent matter that just can't wait, donate 8 and jump the gate. You can do that at spiritmediumtv.com as well. And that donation goes in part to an animal charity, animal rescue charity that I donate to every month. So thank you very much for that. There's a phone number to call to get a reading. That's 347-945-5849. And as I already mentioned, if you call in a little earlier, you'll improve your chances of being read, that or making a donation. Also, if you join our mailing list, you will be sent, first of all, some really cool channeling that just came in recently through me during a research mediumship event. I was the medium there. And they asked me at the end of doing other side connections if I would simply see what came in. And what came in is what I'm calling the Manifesting Miracles Channeled Method. You can get that and other free gifts, like, for example, free numerology report, by, again, joining the mailing list at spiritmediumtv.com. So there you go. If you're watching already on Facebook, great. If not, if you're on Blog Talk and you want to watch the show, the link is on spiritmediumtv.com. But if you're already on Facebook, just go to Spirit Medium Laura's, public figure page. Just put in Spirit Medium Laura, search for that, and you'll come to my page, and you should see this live there. And you can listen to the show on Blog Talk Radio. My show name is, I'm found as Spirit Medium Laura there. And that's about the main things that I want to clear as far as housekeeping goes. I just want to say a brief hello to some of the people who've tuned in. Can I figure out how to do that? I know there are people here that have come in on, there's 10 people watching on Facebook, but I can't see your names right now for some reason. And I see there's some comments. Let's see, maybe I can get them this way. I see there's a Jerry. There's a Sarah, there's a Ray, there's a Mary, and so on and so forth. I want to say hello to all of you and welcome everyone. And also on Blog Talk Radio, we already have a lot of people have called in and have already given me their reason for calling. So I have people waiting on Blog Talk. But before I get to the phone lines, I just wanted to focus this week. I always have a focus subject for you and your own growth, shall we say? Or mind-opening experience, shall we say. So this week is all about weight, ideal weight, body weight. And if any of you are paying attention these days, the average body weight is growing. Right? Not because we're getting taller, but we're getting wider. We could be getting taller also, but we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. There's a trend from the 1970s on up that people, the category that medical professionals are creating for obesity is growing. I mean, it's like it used to be 300 pounds, I think, would have been obese. Now, morbidly obese, and I forgot all the other terms, but people are just, we're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that means that there must be some reason for it. Why did it happen from the 70s forward, you know? Anyway, I did some channeling on it, and the spiritual answer is an interesting answer. I'm going to just summarize it. If you're on my website, you can find it in the sidebar as an article called Channeled Wisdom on the Easy Way to Ideal Weight. If you're on my website at a future point in time, just search for the Easy Way to Ideal Weight. I'm going to just summarize one thing here. One thing I think kind of says it all, although Spirit goes into a lot more depth. When one creates fulfillment in life, the foods become less about pleasure and more about desire to eat, to satiate hunger, and be healthy. And what does that mean? It means that we should be fulfilling ourselves with our lives, living our bliss, living what we came to do, doing what we want to do in life, instead of, trying to stuff our face with foods for pleasure, because that's an illusion. Food can only give you so much pleasure, and then afterwards, what do you really have in your life, right? Another thing of note is that why this is all happening from a scientific perspective is an interesting theory, is that more and more processed foods and more sugar is going into our foods. And the more and more we have sugar in particular, the more and more we get addicted, because sugar releases dopamine, releases endorphins, and other pleasure hormones for a high. But then there's a crash afterwards. I think, what is it? Serotonin is similar to the effect of heroin in the brain. Heroin. So if you want an easy way for weight loss, focus in more and more and more and more and more and more on what you want in your life and start taking steps to bring it to yourself. And then as far as eating goes, start to clear the food out that's not clean food. Go for whole, real food. Look at the sugar content. Look at the pesticides. Look at the preservatives. Look at the chemicals that are in the food, and go for things that are not processed. Go for things that are whole, real, plant-based foods, and the weight will start to shift and deplete. Your body will find its balance, its ideal weight. How do I know this? Well, I kind of stumbled on it a couple of years ago. I was getting ill all the time, and I cleaned up my diet a lot. I kind of did that. I got a health coach certification. The main message is whole food, real food. And I also started to clean out my diet, clean up my diet. And funny thing, I did get healthier, but I don't get sick anymore. But also, I just suddenly got to a weight that was like, I hadn't been this thin since I was like 15 years old. So there is something to be said for this. I have found by accident, another accident that was very lucky, an eating method where they claim you can eat your favorite foods and lose weight. As I was watching the intro video, they slipped in something that maybe the average person wouldn't notice, but I kind of am into this stuff. And they mentioned something about the bacteria in the stomach. They call it flora. And if you pay attention to that, if you pay attention to the bacteria that's in your system, if you replace it, your metabolism speeds up. So I invite you to go ahead and watch that video, which is also, a link to it is also presented in the article, which is on my website, Spirit Medium TV, being a page on my website. The article again is titled channeled wisdom on the easy way to ideal weight. Ooh, goody. Let me just make sure there aren't any. Okay, good. So again, we do have quite a bit of people waiting. I'm not going to push the donations so much tonight because the last few weeks I had so many donations, I never got to the people that just called in. And I want this to be a level playing field. That's why I created the donation system, because there are some people that really do need to speak to spirit, and others are more casual in their needs when they call the show. So I gave them a method, and that's called the 8-No-Wait. Okay, so now we're going to do a prayer, energy connection, and then it's like a slight little meditation we're going to do now. And then I'll go right to the phone lines. Okay. Is everybody listening on Facebook, on Blog Talk Radio? Or if there's anybody else tuned in telepathically, who knows? Please sit back, uncross your arms and legs. Start to breathe from your abdomen, breathing in slowly. And when you're ready, exhaling slowly, releasing any and all tension, opening up to spirit. Breathing in again when you're ready from your abdomen. And on the exhale, starting to focus in on what you need today from spirit. If you're wanting another side connection, call in your loved ones. If you're wanting a life question or a medical thing, just focus on that. Be open to who does come through or what does come through in all cases as it improves the message that you would receive. It improves the accuracy, the clarity, and the content. Be open. And so while you do that, I'm going to go off and do the prayer silently. I will be back in a millisecond. Now, on your next exhale of breath, please release into the space around you your energy, and I will connect us. One moment, please. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to go to T, who is the first caller, unless there is a, 1 second, T. There is, okay. There is a donation, and it's from Tabina, and where your name is Tina, but Tina, I need your phone number. So you're either going to have to email it to me, or if you're calling in from Facebook, well, I can't get it that way. Email it to psychicmediumlaura@gmail.com. Otherwise, I cannot find you in the radio queue. There was a form, which I guess you just didn't see that field, and that's fine, you know. You didn't see the field. But Tina, love, I appreciate your donation, but I can't find you in the queue until I get your phone number. So while I'm waiting for that, psychicmediumlaura@gmail.com, that email to come in. Yep, while I'm waiting for that email to come in, I will go to number 1 in the queue, and that would be T. Hello, T. T? Oh, no, she disappeared. Okay, I'll come back to you later, love. I'll go to number 2 in the queue. Okay, I'm going to go to number 2 in the queue, and that would be Donna with a life question. Hey, Donna. Hi, sweetie. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay. Hi. So, you know, I've been going to school lately. That's why you haven't heard from me lately. Getting my master's degree in mental health counseling. And I start an internship at Senacor, which is a substance abuse facility, next week. And I'd like to know, is this going to work out for me? And do you see me interning at another place? Like maybe I applied to a couple of places, like Blue Bonnet Trails, Or do you see that coming through at some later date as well? So what do you think about that?
I have to say before I go into the answer, just a standard answer, and that is, of course, everything in life is what we create. So it's not happening to you, life. It's what you're wanting out of life. It's how you're directing your energy. And I'm going to look at it that way for you. I'm going to look at you and see if this is something you really want. I need to also say that as soon as I opened the line to you and you started to talk about school, I saw nursing around you. That's a general term for what you've chosen, really. It's something in health and helping people. So that might be a good sign, but let me just see something here. I'm going to go silent and see what Spirit says. Because if you really want it, you're going to create it. Let's go to that. Donna at 9-561. That's what I use for the psychic connection. I use your name and your area code. Hold on a second. Yes, it is a very good career choice for you. And you're going to like it very much. What reason that this message is coming in is because you are a people person. You do love people. You're also a very nurturing individual. You're very, they keep using the word green, green meaning nurturing, gregarious as well. So you're very gregarious. You love people. You love getting involved and helping people solve issues in their lives. I'd also allow you to feel blessed in that you don't have the issues that some of the people you're working with will have. It's going to make you feel about yourself. And there'll be good money for that for you. So all in all, it sounds very good. Now give me the name of the places you're applying one at a time, please. Just you can give me their initials.
I can give you the place. It's Cenikor, Cenikor, and I'm definitely going to be there. But I have so many hours to do, Laura, that I like to do something different. And I applied to Bluebonnet Trails, which is also like not substance abuse, and to get that experience. And I was wondering, are they ever going to call me back, or is that a done deal, or should just leave them alone, or do you see somewhere else?
Wow. Okay, I'm a little confused because you gave me so many things going on. So let's just see what's going to happen with Cenikor, and then we'll go to the second thing. So I'm going to make a question of Cenikor, yes or no. Hold on, will this work out for her? Cenikor. Well, actually, that's why I'm confused. By your question, I'm confused if you can even apply to Cenikor before you've gotten the needed credentials. So at this point, you're telling me you don't have the credentials for Cenikor, so why ask the question? That's what I'm confused.
Okay, this is the thing. I'm working, okay, it's called internship. I don't get paid. I go there to learn. It's part of my curriculum. Do you understand?
Okay, so what you're saying is Cenikor would be part of your curriculum. Let's look at that. Hold on.
I found that place. See, I had to go out and find my own place to do my internship. So Cenikor agreed to accept me, but I just want to know, is it going to work out? Is it going to be a good experience? I'm nervous, of course. And I also applied to Bluebonnet Trail, but they kind of screwed me over a little. They didn't really, I don't know, something happened. But right. They could call me back at some later date.
Okay, we're gonna have to be very organized here. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna ask you is just take a deep breath from your abdomen and relax. Okay. And that'll help with bringing in the right answer. It's gonna be very good for you. And I feel a lot of prosperity around that choice, even though you're not getting paid for it right now. I just feel it's a good choice for you. It feels like has a lot of depth to it. And I think it's very good. So I'm just giving you a general feeling about it. I get a good feeling about it for you. You said that you didn't think Bluebonnet would work out. So do you still want me to check it? I'm not.
Yeah, well, they asked for calls. They just BSing, like, are they playing around or?
They did call you, you said? Is that what you just said, love?
Called me, but then I never went for an interview because the guy, I don't know, he just bowed out, and I went there, and they said they had no openings at that time. Will they ever, I guess, will it ever work out? Will they ever? I guess the question is, do you ever see me working?
All right. No, I don't get that good on that. So let it go. And I feel I don't know if I'm being influenced by your answer to me, but I feel it's a very transient place. People come and go, they're very disorganized, and it's not a very good established place to work for. Also feel it's not that clean, funny thing, and maybe it's just, again, my impression from your words, but I feel it's not a great place. I just want to give you a general answer, and then I will have to go. I give you a big answer on prognosis of all this. You're in Texas now for your training. Do you want to stay there, love? Yes? Or do you want to move somewhere else?
Well, I'm going to be here in training for at least another year.
Well, okay, so I feel I feel that you will stay there. I don't know how long, but I guess maybe it's because you're going to be in training. But I do feel that it's good for you there, whatever it is. The climate is good for you. I feel it's a very hot, nice environment. Let me just see the whole career. You're going to do very well with this career. It's perfect for you. So, and you will find work. So, not to worry, honey. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, love. Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Yeah, she'll be very good at that. Okay, so I'm going to now find Tina. She gave me her area code. Thank you, Tina. Appreciate that. Okay, I have somebody else with the same area code, so I got to get the rest of the number. Won't say it on the radio. Hold on. There she is. Oh, Tina, you were in the queue all along. Duh. Hi, Tina. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Yeah, happy Monday to you, love. So you have a question for Spirit?
I would like to find out it's about my relationship with my boyfriend Kendrick, but his brother passed away. So I wanted to see what message he had for us because we kind of miss him too.
Okay, well, what do you prefer? Because I can't do everything here an hour with you.
No, just the relationship question with Kendrick.
All right, look, let's go to wait a minute, honey. The relationship question with Kendrick. So you want me to bring in a soul from the other side to ask a question about your relationship with your boyfriend. Oh, your boyfriend is Kendrick. Okay, hold on. So will it work out with Kendrick? Is that a good question, love? Can I say that?
The future, yeah, just for the week. We
All right.
get along. I just want to see
Oh, you do get along. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. What's the future between Kendrick and Tina? Good, bad, indifferent. I start with a good or bad, real basic, and the information flows from there. It's a very good relationship for now. Hold on. He's upset about something from the past, and he's not really letting you in on all of it, but he holds a lot of stuff back. He's not really that. I feel Kendrick has trouble sharing feelings, which can become upsetting to you from time to time. But right now, it's just the tip of the iceberg. In other words, this seems to be something, unless it can be worked out, would become something of an issue between the two of you. Now, can you please confirm that you've noticed a little bit of this, please, Tina?
Yeah.
He's got some kind of a problem from the past, a feeling from the past that upsets him. Let's see if I could get more info on it. Okay, also, does he have a son? Looks like he has a son. Okay. He's very good with his health, very good with everything. He's just very retentive in terms of sharing his feelings. He's really upset about something right now. It might be because of his brother's passing. I can get the info. Let me just see if I can get the info. And he's a serious person. That's a good thing because he's not taking you as a chance. You know, he's not playing around with you. He's a serious person. How does he feel about his brother's passing? Very upset about the brother's passing. I feel it's a very sudden thing, and I feel there's some kind of violence around it or something. It makes him very, very upset. It distracts him. It distracts him. And it's a terrible hurt to him. So the real question is, will he be able to overcome this, or is this going to be a permanent dent in him that would affect your relationship with him? And the answer is, he can overcome it, he will overcome it, and it will not be a permanent obstacle to you being with him. But you need to know this now, Tina. because it will allow you to be more tolerant and understand. It's going to take a while for these feelings to be worked out for him, and you can't really help him do that other than the following. Being there and allowing him to feel his feelings or process his stuff without even talking to you about it is the kind of support needed for him to go through this time in his life. But eventually, I think he'll come through it, and eventually he will be there for you again. You made a good choice in Kendrick. He's a good person, but he just he has problems with, he's like, a typical guy. Well, I shouldn't say that because not all men are alike, but he's kind of like the silent type, if you will. You know what I mean?
And the brother passed away from cancer. They're police officers. That's what you saw as far as firemen. They were in the military and police all the time.
Okay. Maybe did he get the cancer because he was exposed to something in combat, like Agent Orange or something?
It was parasitic, and it was bone cancer, so I don't.
Well, maybe it was because I got a what was that, honey?
Is Kendrick upset at me about the past?
No. I think that what's going on is the loss of his brother is really affecting him. You see what I'm saying? It's made him very sad.
That is what's affecting him. He won't cry about it because they're police officers and they're trained out of their emotions. So that's what he feels like he has to deal with the loss of his brother by himself.
Yeah, and I feel it's
affecting. So I am giving him. That's why I needed to talk to you because I'm like, that's really hurting him about the brother. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, he's got to process this. And it's like one of those things, if you try to talk to him about it, it upsets him. He doesn't want to show weakness, as you've said, but I'm adding it in there. And the only thing this could affect your relationship with him if he doesn't process it. But I'm seeing that he will process this. So I want you to be optimistic. It's frustrating for you because you really can't help him with this. You've tried, you can't talk to him about it. He's, so it's just a matter of time, and then things will get better again. Okay, so what I see is a solid person, very responsible person, caring person, wants to do the right thing always, but is a little bit, shall we say, unbalanced right now until this is through his system. Okay, makes sense? All right, so don't get worried about it. It's fine. But it's been 2 years, though. That's quite a while. So I just want to look at one other thing, please.
See what the brother had to say on the other side.
No, I can't do everything in one session. Just bear with me, honey. I can get a lot of information from this. Hold on. Will he get over this, please? Yeah, he will get over it eventually is the answer. So all you need to do is hang in there. It's going to take a while, though. It's going to be gradual. So it's not like I could say next week he'll be 100%, but next week he'll be a little better. And then the next month he'll be a little better. And gradually he will let go of the struggle he has with this, which is the woulda, coulda, shoulda thing going on. Like it makes him feel powerless. And a man who feels powerless is a broken man. It's like, if only, he keeps saying, if only I had, or if only we could have seen it early, if only, but it's not up to him. So the one thing you can say to him, Tina, which is a little, I didn't say this yet, is keep reminding him that it wasn't him that hurt his brother. It wasn't he couldn't do anything about it. It's really not his fault. You see what I'm saying? Okay, because that's where the glitch is, the feeling of like, if I had done more to help my brother, it's not up to him. There was nothing he could really do. It's part of his brother's, let me just finish the sentence, honey. It was part of his brother's soul plan and karma. I don't mean it in a bad way, but that was his plan for this lifetime. Everything that happens is happening because it's supposed to happen. For whatever reason. Not that we're puppets, we're always creating in the moment, right? But we all have a plan for our life. Now, what were you going to say, sweetie?
And they found out, they kept it to themselves when they went to like a herbalist The lady said if you would have come 6 months earlier, he would have been alive. So that's true. That's what woulda, coulda, shoulda.
And you know what? That's easy for her to say, but everybody says the same thing. Cancer is as much about consciousness as it is about holistic healing or herbal things or whatever. It's always like a practice. It's not perfect. You know, like they say, a doctor has a practice, where an herbalist would have a practice too. And, you know, some things will work on one person, they don't work on another. Because there we are multidimensional. You know, Tina, you look in the mirror, you see Tina's face, right? Well, there's other parts of Tina that you can't see in the mirror, but they're just as valid. You got a soul, you got a purpose, and you got Kendrick. And Kendrick and you have a soul, if you will, you know, the two of you together. So just hang in there, honey. Everything seems to be fine. Okay, my dear?
How do we reach you outside of this for readings? Or how much are you reading?
Yeah, if you do want to make a reading, you can call me or you can go to booklaura.com. And when you book your reading, everything is on spiritmediumtv.com. I'll just say it to you that way. Spiritmediumtv.com has how to book a session, my phone number, blah, 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 blah. Readings start at $49 for 15 minutes. As a radio show listener, you get a third more time free, Facebook or radio show listener, a third more time free. So if you pay for 15, you'll get a third of that, which is $5 minutes more for the same price. And that's true of all the readings. I have 30-minute readings, 45-minute readings, hour readings. It's always the same thing. Each 15-minute block is $49 unless you get the discount, which is, I call it the free for me, unless you get the free for me. Okay, darling? So just go to mediumtv.com and everything is there. Thank you, honey. Bye-bye. Okay, and so I'm going to now just make sure that we don't have anybody. Oh, yeah. All right, we've got Alyssa and we have Georgette who have made donations. And Alyssa's at 403. She's the first one. Please, everybody listening, do not make any more donations because I want to get to some people who are in the queue as well. I love speaking to all of you, but I want some, you know, like for example, T wasn't there. T, if you're listening, if you're still there, you weren't there when I picked up your line. So I don't know where you went, but it was bad timing. Okay, so Alyssa's at 403. Hold on, let's see if I can find her. There she is. Hey, Alyssa, how are you? I'm good, honey. Thank you so much for your donation. It goes in part to help animals. And so what can Spirit do for you? What can Spirit do for you this evening?
I was just wondering if, obviously, like we spoke before multiple times, and I'm just wondering if Spirit had any insight for me, just kind of like on what's coming up or anything I should be knowing, because we're in a stressed out financial situation currently, and just hoping for some guidance from Spirit.
Okay. Do you have a mother in spirit, honey? Because there's a mother figure waiting for you.
That'd be my great grandmother.
Okay, so you must be pretty young then, unless your family has a lot of longevity. But first thing I want to say is I feel a lot of nurturing and loving energy coming in from Spirit for you to keep the faith, keep the hope, and not let go of anything. And this in particular, this particular answer seems to be coming from the other side versus your guides. In other words, a specific person in spirit right now. And there's also some terminology. Do you have a godmother, please?
Yep.
Is she in spirit, love?
No, she's not.
All right. Well, there's something about your godmother taking care of you or doing something to help you and heal you right now. Are you in contact with her, love?
I am, but not
for this? Okay. Well, I hear
Not all the
something about
time.
not all the time. Okay. Well, I do see a person in spirit. I'm not going to go through traditional, the standard mediumship call, which is I see as person and spirit. This is what you, I do see her very clearly, the great grandmother probably, unless it's another person. Sometimes we have aunts and we have other people that are older than us that are in spirit. You know what I mean? So I don't know who it is, but anyway, she's a little bit on, yeah. She's a little bit on the heavy side, particularly in her hips. You may not see her as heavy or seen her as heavy, but like her shoulders are a little on the narrow side, but she does carry a little extra weight in her hips, and she has short hair. She's very cute. She's got glasses. So that's what I see coming in. Now, let's move to the money thing. If I can break the two up, or does she have to give me the message? I'm not sure. You need to pray a lot right now about what you're doing. They say with your health or some kind of obstacles in the way of this or getting what you need. What's going on with your health? Are you feeling okay?
Well, I've been dealing with some stomach issues.
Oh, probably from stress. Okay. You need to pray. You need to feel better about yourself. You need to take better care of your health, probably from the stomach issue that you're talking about. You need to take care of yourself and nurture yourself and love yourself. With such love, with such caring and nurturing, that's why a mother figure's coming in, great grandmother, and a couple of other kind of females around you. With this kind of, chicken soup for the soul approach, you will overcome the obstacles right now that are holding you back and affecting your health. See if I can see specifically where the money will come from for Alyssa. Feels like you're starting something or doing something. It feels enterprising. Are you working on a business, please? It's going to work for you. So we need to talk about that for a moment or two longer, darling, because I just can't leave you hanging on this. So if you don't have any faith, see, in what you're doing, right? Don't have any faith.
No,
Let me just continue, darling. All right. Well, somehow your faith's failing you at the moment, but let's continue. What I'm getting is the business doesn't have enough. You need to find one specific thing in the business to focus on and make that happen before you will start to see results. Right now, I feel that you're kind of fearful because the business is not well defined. You haven't found the hook yet. So I'm going to see if I can get that for you. Now, would that make sense so far, honey, what I'm saying? I feel like you got a business, you got the idea of a business, you got a business, but it's big or it's unshaped. It's not real spearheaded yet. Do you understand that, please? Alyssa?
trying to hook a client.
All right. So you got to have, I was going to say you have to have a hook, right? So let me just see but you already have decided what it is, hook a client, but I still feel it's too vague. Maybe you need to change the bait to hook the client. So give me a second. Let me see if I get it in from spirit without you saying anything. If not, I'll come back to you. Let's see. You need to work very specifically with this particular prospect until he understands the benefits and the function of your service. He does not quite understand what it is, yet that he will be getting as a benefit that would benefit him. With this realization, he would be able to lay down the monies that you expect from a client of this nature, this sort, and this size. But for some reason or other, the messaging is not that clear on what the benefits are to him. I'm not getting any more info right now than this, and I don't want to strain myself too much. So I want to ask you, what is the business about? And then I'll give you a little bit more fun.
It's a consulting business for oil and gas. Going in and drilling wells.
Oh, you're my Alyssa. You're my Alyssa. Okay. I didn't get. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I know exactly. I'm sorry, love. I picked up all that without knowing. I was like, I don't. You said before, you know me. I don't remember you. So okay. And when I asked the question what the business was, I also felt it had something to do with, believe it or not, transportation. Even though it's oil and gas, it is for moving things and transportation. That could be the hook, but let's just You need to be, okay, you were told you need to be with the benefits. You need to make it more succinct, clearer to him. Okay, let me see if I can get a little more info, Alyssa. You need to open up the doors needed to get more prospects than just one. You need to understand why people are going to want to hire you. The reason primarily is cost saving and more specific control over projects. When they hire people, full-time staff, they waste a lot of money because they might have a generalist to do several different things, but not highly spearheaded in one direction. That employee could waste time for them and is overhead. I feel that this particular client has the idea that if I just keep staff, low paid staff on salary, I can paste things together, get the job done, even if people are scrambling around and not knowing what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So when they hire your firm, your Wade, if you will, they're going to get specific, targeted, effective solutions and work. This saves money in the long run and produces a better product. And so what you're going to need to do, if you can, is come up with ways to make this quantifiable. Maybe there are studies that you can show him where this is the case. Okay, I feel that you can I used to be in corporate sales, by the way, and you'd be surprised what you can get. You can get something to back this up. But to get the highest skill level targeted for what he needs when he needs it is what you're all about. That's how you help him save money. So that's what I'm getting is a good thing to be able to succinctly deliver that message. Give me the initials of the client. I'll see if there's any other hidden objections. What are his initials or her or whatever the firm is? Please give me the initials.
Well, there's several, but one starts with a C.
All right, well, we'll just do one then. If you have several, that's better. I'm glad you have several. Now, do you understand what I just said, though, as your message? Do you understand?
And we're trying, I guess, as you know, being in sales, you deliver that message and we're just sitting back waiting. You don't want to harass people, right? So
no, you don't want to harass people.
As far as I know, we're delivering that message to its full ability.
Okay.
And then we're just waiting for someone to bite.
All right, so you did deliver that message. You did give him that because I feel you.
Yeah.
Well, okay, if you did, then oh, okay. Well, I want you to, listen to this later and make it you need to focus. You need to hit your prospects with this exact message. You need to have data to back it up, and you need to keep pounding and pounding and pounding away until you get your prospects. You also need to do some work on visualizing success. And when the radio show is over, I will send you the miracle method, which is a very succinct way, a very focused way, create your reality, something new that was just channeled in. So I'll send that to you. Do that, and do what I said in terms of practical application. Okay, Alyssa? You're welcome, honey. God bless. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, I have one other donation, and I will get to the phone lines for at least somebody today. I will. Hold on. Okay, we've got Georgette. Yeah, Georgette, thank you so much for your donation. I'm going to look for you in the phone queue in a moment. I'm going to 760. There she is. Hello, Georgette.
Laura, thanks for taking my call. Glad to talk to you.
Oh, my pleasure, sweetheart. Now, what I need you to do is give me your question, and I want to thank you also for your donation. It goes in part to help animals. Go ahead and ask your question, doll. Not a lot of background, just the question.
So
I would like to know what energies. Oh, no. I would like to know if I will have a successful outcome with a furniture transaction that just took place a couple of days ago.
Okay. Yes, you will have a very successful outcome with it, or everything will come to you as hoped and desired. You will get, I get a refund of some sort would be coming to you. It could be a rebate or a refund, but there's something coming back to you from that, that you get out of an obligation you made. And I feel that you made it without understanding all the implications involved, or something was hidden from you. Would this make sense, please? All right. So you don't need to worry. Everything's going to come back to you just as hoped.
Okay.
All right.
Will it come back to me in a expeditious way? In other words, the amount of time or sooner than I anticipated?
Okay, now for some reason, I feel that you might have a lawyer around this, or for some reason or other, you do have the right legal aspect to this, or you have the right approach. I just wanted to say that before I answer that, your question about expeditiousness, hold on for a second. Not that fast. It won't happen that quickly. There'll be a little ruminations about it, a little bit of gruffing and huffing and puffing, a little bit of discussion. But then I finally see, oh, it's got to happen because you have all your I's dotted and all your T's crossed. But ultimately, I feel that this will be resolved within 2 to 3 weeks. If you want it faster, I don't see that right now. But that is what I do see, Georgette.
Okay, but did you say that I need to have a lawyer involved, or maybe take the advice of a lawyer and do another document?
What I'm getting is I see a lawyer, or that you've done things correctly from a legal perspective. So if you feel that you have not done things correctly, or that there could be a little refinement in your approach, then I would say use your judgment on that. But I'm just getting, I feel legally it's everything is on your side, is what I'm saying. Everything is on your, you have the perfect right, and that it's all in your favor. So I'm not saying you have to run and get a lawyer, but if you don't see things working out, let me just ask the question in spirit, honey. I would clarify what I just said, but let me ask again. This is for Georgette. Does she need a lawyer? Yes or no for this? No, you don't need a lawyer. You've done everything correctly. Everything is fine.
And so I think, okay, what I think I'm also very concerned about is whether the intentions of the people who owe me money for this furniture and integrity, a sense of integrity, are intact.
Well, from what I already saw and said, I see resistance. I see a huffing and a puffing and a groaning and a moaning. I see an older man with a little bit of a balded head and a big stomach finally saying, all right, give it to her. But everything's going to work out in your favor. So the integrity, I won't say that. I'll just say they're going to be forced to comply. Okay? They'll know they don't have a leg to stand. Okay, sweetie? So don't worry, not to worry. All right?
So
Yeah, nothing more. Don't worry about it. If you need to use legality, you can always use it as a resource, but everything is on your side. It might be even like you go there one day to the store and you say, look, this is my receipt. I want help with this. And you can even call the police at that moment, but they will not be, in other words, if you did that, they would be embarrassed and have to act in good faith at that point. I feel the law is on your side, and this will be handled in your favor. And that's all you really need to know. Okay? All right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay. So I'm going to go to T because I hope I don't have any more donations, because I asked people not to make any more. There you go. Good. So I'm going to go to T and see if she's there. She's the first caller in today. Without making, there she is. I'll try again. Are you there, T? Hi, sweetie.
Yes, I am.
Hi. I went to you earlier, but you must have stepped away for a moment. Go ahead and give me your question, honey.
I want to know, I I have been really in prayer and things like that. And I just want to know if applying to this place, because I made decision on what it is that I wanted to do. Um, I wanted to know if I'm making this decision to apply to this school, is what the angels want me to do as far as my, my life path.
All right, that's enough said. And I like the idea you're praying on it. I'm going to get on my soapbox for a moment. But, everybody, there's so many ways to get miracles, I wouldn't call it miracles. But prayer is a very effective tool. It also helps you get clear on what you want. Okay, so let me just go into that for you. Is this school, right? You're the one that wanted to go back to med school and you're a social worker. Is that correct, love? All right. You should do this. You also have music business too. But anyway, I'm getting a yes on this. It will open up doors for you that you even now don't think were possible. It will get you involved in a more creative direction that you're really wanting, and it will allow you to have more control over your time and where you're going in life. Ultimately, it's a much better fit for you. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm trying to go further with this, if Spirit will show me, so that you'll have a validation. So bear with me, honey. So, what was that? What, honey?
Just wanted to know if is it the school that starts with the W,
All right.
the right one?
All right. It is the right one. It's just what you're thinking. It's just what you're thinking it will be. Now, Laura, I'm thinking, why would she want to go back to school again? Doesn't she have enough student debt? But Spirit is saying this is very good for you. And even if it takes a while to go through it all, you may have to take a little break or maybe do a little part-time or whatever. It's going to give you a more leisurely approach to life. Maybe there'll be some work study involved where you'll be earning some money. And it's all going to feel so good to you. Rather than remember, you always felt you were like in a box. This is going to be like, finally doing what I really want to do that I wouldn't let myself do because I thought I had to do other things to be important, to be special, to be accomplished, to do what I thought I was supposed to do. And ultimately what you're supposed to do is you need a lot of freedom. You're an artist with a brain, which is a dangerous thing. I know that personally. In other words, you could have done med school if that's what you want. I don't feel that this is med school, but you're really a producer, creator, director. You should be in a creative field. Somehow I see show business around this, or producing movies and film. What is the choice here that you're going towards?
I am going to do, I was going to do like, just the mental health, field, like as far as getting my last credential. But I was actually, I made the decision, but I'm like, oh man, I'm really, 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 I'm good at like being in contact with people and things like that, but I hate paperwork. The paperwork piece is like the piece that really, like I love what I do, but the paperwork.
Okay, so what I'm telling you is, maybe it doesn't sound that practical, but whatever it is that you're doing is going to be extremely creative. Now, can you turn becoming a therapist into something very creative without paperwork? Well, yeah. Would you say Tony Robbins, for example, is not a therapist, but he's in the human growth and development field, right? And he moves into helping people in a big way, motivational speaking, creating his own books, his own programs, his own this, his own that. There's going to be a lot of media behind what you do. So you may get started actually in a little bit of a therapy practice, but you may evolve into something that's a little more dynamic, which truly fits you. It allows you to step out of the box, allows you to step out of the form that you have to fill in, and allows you to be the creative genius that you are. So we got two threads here. You like human growth and development, right? You like achievement. You like self-mastery.
Because I am starting my own practice, but I am incorporating the media piece. I am. That's actually a big piece to what I'm doing as far as it's having people be able to express themselves through the creative arts, through games, music, dance.
That's perfect for you.
But it's,
And but it's what? But what?
I don't know why I feel the need. I don't know why I feel like spirit always leads me to believe that I'm supposed to fulfill this, and I want to, and it's always been a goal. The medical piece, that medical component.
Well, you don't have to choose one or the other. It's all connected. You know, when I was in school, I used to think that, you know, I don't want to choose this subject because I'm also interested in that subject. But in that subject, I'm not interested in parts of it. And then I realized when you get to the top of something, everything is in it. So so do you hear what I'm saying? So don't say to yourself, I have to limit myself. There's a medical piece to feeling good, to growing, to growth. There's definitely a medical part of your mental health and a medical part of your self-esteem. It all blends together. So everything that you like, you have to keep a journal or every day writing it down, honing it and focusing in on it. And then eventually the shape of it will come out. But the most important thing to keep in mind right now is to not limit anything, but certainly do not put any effort into things you don't like to do. Keep doing what you like to do. Keep giving attention and focus to what you like to do. And anything that you don't like, use it as the way to make decisions. Well, that's going to have a lot of forms in it, a lot of tedium, which I don't like. This is not. And work it that way. Today, I stumbled upon a video on YouTube, which I really loved. I'm into all this woo-woo stuff, of course. And the video was called How to Use Journaling to Become a Millionaire. Basically, how to use introspection to become successful. And it's a very primitive, I've been doing that for years. But basically, you sit with your journal and you keep writing down all the things you don't like, get it out of your system. But then you start writing what you do want, right? You start defining what you do want. And then you make it into a game. You start spending time, sequestered time, uninterrupted time. Now that you define what you do want, now you start to play with how do you get that. You literally put effort into it. If you do it when you meditation, you use a meditation beforehand, and you start to journal on how you're going to get to what you want, that's when you start to use your subconscious and the superconscious. You access guides, you access angels, you access information you wouldn't have had with your just closed little mind. It's a miracle process. So remember that and say yes to what you want, no to what you don't want. Focus, 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 chip away at it, and it's there for you, my dear. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, my love. Take care, sweetie. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. Ooh, that's the recording. Thank you very much, everybody on Facebook and on Blog Talk Radio for tuning in this evening. Join my mailing list at spiritmediumtv.com to become aware of the show before it happens, so you can get in early in the queue and or make a donation so I can get to speak with you. The donation goes in part to help animals. The website for the show is spiritmediumtv.com. Thank you all very much. Namaste.
Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.